Okay. All right, good evening and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of December 8th, 2020. Ms. Barak, please call the roll.
Committeeman Zelkor.
Here.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Here.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lapani.
Here.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira.
Here.
Attorney Willard.
Here.
And Attorney Fong.
Here.
Okay, please join me to salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be advised that in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and on the Township website notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on December 8th, 2020. Members of the public may participate in this meeting in person or via Zoom as posted. First up this evening is approval of the October 27th, 2020 regular meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Zelkor.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Abstain.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lapani.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the November 10th, 2020 regular session meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Zelkor.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Abstain.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lapani.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes. So first up this evening, or I should say second, reports from committee liaisons. So Committeeman Delcor.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple items. We obviously had our tree lighting, which I know you'll talk about last night, but I just want to make sure everyone that all of our kids out there, if they want to drop their letters off to be delivered to Santa, to get them, make sure they dropped off by this Thursday, December the 10th. We have a commitment that Santa will do his best to respond to each and every letter. So we hope we can get those letters dropped off and make sure we get them off to the North Pole. Also, voting has started for the first annual Home for the Holidays decorating contest. Visit the Parks and Recreation website for all the details and the interactive map that shows all the participating houses. Fun little event that we can go around and see all the amazing decorations that people put up on their homes. And please feel free to join and vote for the one that you think is the most festive here in town. Also on Friday evening this week, you can join Temple Bethel for the annual menorah lighting, which will be held via Zoom. So it's going to be this Friday night, and it'll be the second day of Hanukkah. So we hope you're able to join us if you'd like to participate in the annual menorah lighting. Again, Temple Bethel this Friday evening. And for all of the winter activities through our Parks and Recreation Department, please make sure you're visiting the website and go on the activity guide to register for any events you'd like to participate in or any of our programs. Regarding social services, I just want to a couple thank yous. First of all, thank you to the Hillsborough High School robotics team, 75, the engineers, on their very successful food drive. This year, Team 75, the Robo Raiders robotics team, held a community food drive in place of their yearly drives, usually held at their annual Borough Blast competition. They lent a helping hand this holiday to the Hillsborough families in need, and we greatly appreciate it. The first LEGO League, the FLL robotics program, which is a global STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math program, holds the FFL robotics program competition, and Borough Blast event is part of the annual competition this year. They were unable to hold their main event this year, but determined to contribute to our community and adjusted by successfully collecting canned goods and non-perishables. So we thank the Robo Raiders for their very generous donation and their work to get our food pantry up and running and full for the holidays, and also the Hillsborough High School Baseball Diamond Club for their donation of pies to Hillsborough residents in need over the Thanksgiving holiday. The Hillsborough High School baseball team, the Diamond Club, donated 41 pies to the Hillsborough Community Assistance Network Food Bank. thanks to the generosity of the family and friends related to the high school baseball team. The players held a fundraiser and chose to help their community by donating these pies for the Thanksgiving meal holiday, and we're very pleased that they were able to help contribute to the township's residents that are in need, especially this time of year. It's been a very challenging, tough year for so many families here in Hillsborough and, of course, across the country and world. And we greatly appreciate the activities and efforts of these organizations to help out our community. So very
For the annual Stuff the Bus. They do this yearly. The Hillsborough Township's PBA 205, they organize and hold this annually on the Stuff the Bus food drive to benefit the Hillsborough Township Community Assistance Network, the food pantry here in Hillsborough, and they did that on Saturday, November 21st. I unfortunately couldn't make it this year, but of course I'll make a donation to the food bank. Thank you to the Hillsborough dedicated men and women in blue for collecting a bounty of pantry items delivered to the bus. It was parked at Nelson's Corner Parking, and a big shout out goes to the PBA 205 for their continued dedication helping those in need. To all the folks who donated to the drive and to the coordinated efforts and donations of Cater to Fair, Dennis Valchek Bus Company, Schilke Construction, ShopRite of Hillsborough, and the South Branch Reformed Church Youth Group. It's always a great organization to dedicate those things to, and thank you again to the PBA. Please be careful when you're decorating your holiday decorations this year. It's always a reminder to be careful. There's a lot of fires that do start with poor wiring and lighting, so please be sure they're in good condition. Try to use clips instead of nails to hang light cords so they do not get damaged. Make sure you read the instructions on the manufacturer's instructions to make sure that they're connected properly. And try to keep decorations away from windows, doors, never leave candles unattended. And just reminders for those to keep a nice, safe holiday this season. For the finance department, at the end of the year is approaching. The finance department gets ready to send out the renewals for your dog licenses. So if you no longer have your pet, he's no longer with you, please mark that on your renewal and return so they can update their records accordingly. And if you have a pet that you have not licensed before, please download a new dog form that is located on the township website and send that in along with a copy of the most recent rabies certificate so your pet can be entered into the system. So in the future, if we need to find them, that would be helpful. Hillsborough Municipal Alliance would like to thank the Township Committee for all the work that we do throughout the year and support that we give them. So thank you, Township Committee. The Alliance looks forward to continuing work with the TC in 2021, and we are happy to be here and help you out. If you are interested in learning more about the Municipal Alliance, you can visit our website, and also you can go to the website of Borough Aware, B-O-R-O aware.org for more information and local resources. Just remember that there is always help available. So if you know anyone that is in need of assistance, please reach out to the township or to Borough Aware for that assistance. That's all for me this evening, Mayor, and I wanted to just say have a great holiday season.
Thank you very much, Committeewoman. Committeewoman Holmes.
I've been given nothing to read tonight,
Okay.
but happy holidays to everyone.
Deputy Mayor LaPanny.
Thank you, Deputy. Mayor, I'm Deputy. The building department hours for pickup and payment of permits are between 8 a.m. and 3:30 Monday through Friday. It's also important that if you're dropping off a permit or picking one up, an application up, to give the department ample time to go over the application with you to make sure you understand what is required to help avoid delays. In the engineering department, would like to inform the public that Township applied and received a state NJDOT local aid grant for $470,000 for the resurfacing of Phase 1 of Amsterdam Drive. Amsterdam Drive is broken into 3 phases in order to obtain additional grant monies in the future years. If the Township receives grant money in the next 2 years, Amsterdam Drive can be resurfaced entirely at minimum cost for the Hillsborough taxpayer. I would like to thank the engineering department and Tom Ballinger for their continued great work in applying for, and it seems like obtaining these grants. You must know the magic buttons to push because we always seem to get something. So, and Anthony. So good job by them. Phase 1 starts at the older section of Amsterdam Drive between Millstone River Road and Vliet Drive. This project will include converting the shoulders to bike lanes. This creates full bike lanes extending from Millstone River Road to Amwell Road. Project plans and specifications must now be prepared and approved by NJDOT. The project must be bid and the construction is anticipated for summer 2021. And lastly, from the DPW, as you've noticed, the Public Works Department is in full swing with our second round of leaf collection program. Also, the Auten Road site is available to drop off leaves all remaining Saturdays until the first week of January. Details regarding the program are listed on the Public Works link of the Hillsborough Township website, along with the projected areas to be picked up the following week. The information is updated every Friday afternoon for that edition of the Mayor's newsletter. And then lastly, the recent Clean Communities virtual township-wide litter cleanup known as Littercon was a true success. Volunteers collected 1.22 tons of garbage from Littercon alone and generated a significant amount of interest from individuals and groups continuing to clean up Hillsborough. This is the mindset we are looking to promote, and Public Works thanks all of you for your help and support in this program. If any of you would like to be more involved in helping out with this program, please contact the Public Works Department. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. A couple things from me this evening. First, I want to thank everyone who joined our virtual tree lighting last evening. We started at approximately 6:30 p.m. with a feed from last year's event and some dance studio performances that were recorded in advance of last night. Although I understand some folks thought that we weren't wearing masks and that there were huge crowds with no social distancing. That was from 2 years ago and last year. That I can assure you that we all had masks on in the cold last night, except when I removed mine only to speak into the microphone, and then we put it back on so we could socially distance. So thank you to everyone's concerns online about that, but we certainly made sure that we were being as safe as possible and adhere to all the governor's restrictions of having 25 or less individuals outside at the event.
It's true, we were all alone.
Yes, it was just us. It was very cold. So I do thank all my colleagues up here on the dais for attending the event last night and dealing with the cold weather. I also have to thank our dear friends at Flagtown Fire Company who delivered Santa to us safely last night. And also thank you to our Parks and Recreation team, our DPW, and of course our technology team for all the behind the scene works. For making the lighting of the Christmas tree go off without a hitch on Zoom and on Facebook last night. And also thank to our lead staff here at the administration to make sure everything went off without a hitch. And speaking of Facebook, we do now have a Hillsborough Township Facebook page. So make sure you like and follow so you can keep track of all the events. I think starting next week, our next meeting, we're going to also live stream this and other township committee meetings and board meetings. So you have a chance to see what's going on in the township. As always, you can stay connected with all of our events and more via our e-news and Twitter, Facebook, TV29, and the Hillsborough YouTube channel to showcase our meetings and Hillsborough The Good Life episodes and Hillsborough alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. And again, that's all now on Facebook as well. This evening, we have a couple proclamations, and we do have some real live people here in the audience, which we do find exciting in these times. So first up, after I read your proclamation, we're going to take a picture and then we are going to allow you guys to sit back down. So I'm going to just read the proclamation for Tyler, and then I'm going to come down and meet you, and then we'll take a photo and we'll hand off the proclamation. With our COVID protocols. So first up, Tyler Housel is a Hillsborough High School sophomore and a member of Boy Scout Troop 1776. He has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Tyler's Eagle Scout project consisted of building cubicles and a new podium for the preschool at Mary Mother of God Church. The project took 184 hours and 24 scouts assisted. Tyler served as a chaplain's aide, troop guide, and crew leader for a high school adventure trip to Maine. Tyler is a member of the Hillsborough High School junior varsity cross country team and a junior varsity lacrosse team. Tyler volunteers with the homeless through Mary Mother of God Church and the Interfaith Hospitality Network, and also participates in Taekwondo and works as a lifeguard here. Tyler serves as an example to the youth of Hillsborough Township through his high level of leadership and community service, and we are very proud that he is a member of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor of the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Tyler for having achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, an honor for both himself and for those who have guided him, with best wishes for him for a bright future. Congratulations. Sorry. Mask up.
Congratulations.
Look, he's tough. He's wearing shorts too.
It's quite an accomplishment for his age, huh?
So we're going to take a social distance photo over here. You got it? Yeah. If you want to say a couple words, you want to
Thank your mom.
Thanks, Mom, Dad.
All right.
Thank you for all the people that have helped me, including my mom and my aunt and all my scout leaders.
Good job.
Thank you.
I'm just going to stay down here for this one, for filming co-op. And this one was kind of interesting. We had one of our farmers in town, Sam Connor, reached out and said, you know, we've had filming co-op helping Hillsborough farmers now for 100 years. And we should go out of our way. I don't have the microphone, right? We need it. Yeah. Also,
Rewind.
sorry. So this one was kind of interesting. It's for Bellmead Co-op, and we had one of our farmers in town, longtime farmers, Sam Connor, reach out to us and said, you know, Bellmead Co-op has now been in part of Hillsborough for over 100 years. They should be recognized for their contributions to businesses, not only in our community, but in the surrounding communities. Can we give them a proclamation? So that's what we're doing here tonight. And whereas the Bellmead Co-op was incorporated on October 4th, 1920, and has celebrated its 100-year anniversary this year. And whereas the co-op began as the club when a group of local farmers got together to sell their hay and grain. And whereas the Bellmead Co-op now has approximately 95 owners and employs almost entirely local residents, including students from Hillsborough and Montgomery. And whereas the co-op operates out of the original store and office built in the 1950s and spans over 9 to 10 acres of land. And whereas Bellmead Co-op originally served as a hay press powered by horses in the cellar, today the co-op continues as a working feed mill for animals, as well as a supplier of lawn, landscape, nursery, and farm supplies. And whereas Bellmead Co-op has throughout the years donated to many Eagle Scout projects, local sports teams, and has managed to remain open and serve its loyal customer base throughout the pandemic. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that me, the mayor, and the township committee, do hereby recognize and congratulate Bellmead Co-op for their unwavering dedication and service to our community, and be it further proclaimed that we, the mayor, and the Hillsborough Township Committee, congratulate Bellmead Co-op for the 100th anniversary and wish them much continued success for many years to come. Congratulations.
That's a long time.
I just want to say that one of your employee or one of your owners, Courtney Huber, used to babysit my son, who's now 31. Is that you, Courtney, behind that mask? And he babysat my son when he was in elementary school. He's my neighbor. Hey, Courtney. Yes, Courtney.
It looks
I'd just like to thank the
I
local
know.
community for the last 100 years, and hopefully we'll be here for another 100. Thanks a lot.
Good to see you, Courtney. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that takes care of our proclamations for this evening. We're going to be moving on to new business, and we have none at this time. So we're moving on to public comment on new business and matters not on the agenda this evening. So if you do have a question, which I see Susan is raising her hand, so.
I'm like, where is she? Forgot she was on.
Virtually raising her hand. So Susan, I'm going to unmute you. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, Gloria, I didn't want you to miss me. At least I'm not on camera. Two items. One, actually, Gloria mentioned the licensing of the dogs this year. And I just wanted to mention the Rabies Clinic this year is going to be a challenge for the health department. And having attended with my own pets and volunteered at the Rabies Clinic, they are really crowded. Many residents, more than normal, are having financial problems this year, and the clinic may be more important than usual for many of our residents. And also, it seems as though more people than ever have pets, and the shots are required for the dog licenses. And pet owners are going to have to make their plans for the shots. So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that shortly our health department will announce what arrangements are being made.
Mayor, if I think that we are pretty close to making that, and from the standpoint of our ability to kind of manage crowds and the ability to do the shots for the residents, I'm sure we will be able to put a robust process in place that will allow us to complete the process and still keep everyone distance appropriattle but certainly something that I have full confidence our health department will put a process in place that'll satisfy everything we need to do.
Agreed, because I believe we held 2 flu shot clinics already, and if we can handle flu shot clinics, I think we can handle a rabies
Agreed.
clinic. But again, Susan, you didn't state your name at the beginning, but I don't believe you said Susan Gulliford, 9 Hunts Club Road?
No, it's 7.
7.
So you were trying to get.
All right, I'm sorry. I tried. Come on. I apologize. Oh, yeah, I believe you said you
I
had.
forgot it. I realized I forgot it. Hey, I have a second question. I don't know
Yes,
if this is
please.
for you, Doug. On the library, I know you had some ongoing negotiations or discussions about the library opening hours. I wonder if there were any updates on that.
As of today, I'm going to look over at your administrator. I don't believe there has been any updates. We still encourage them to make sure that they would check people in so we could do the appropriate contact tracing. And as of today, I don't believe that's changed. They are still not willing to do that. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mayor. We would hope that they'd be following our simple contact tracing, but our attorney, Mr. Flom, and I have been tirelessly trying to get them to agree, but as of now, they're open 8 to 4:30 like we are. And their library patrons are using that process today from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. So we're hopeful.
Susan, I know you missed the freeholders meeting that was at 5 o'clock today, but feel free to call into the next one and ask them if they could help on that matter. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, and we should tell them that the contact tracing is more important now than probably it was when we were trying to work on the hours a few months ago. So, it's staggering to me that they haven't relented on this issue.
Agreed.
Yeah, the freeholders like seeing me as much as you do.
7 Huts Club Road. I won't forget
Hunt
it.
Club Road.
I won't get it wrong next time. I apologize. Anything else?
The mayor's flowers went to 9, you might.
Anything else this evening, Susan?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. Any other comments this evening from anyone online and or in the audience? Seeing none, we're going to move on to our public hearing on 2020-28, an ordinance amending Chapter 115, amusement games, Section 115-9, designation of recognized amusement parks of the municipal code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, to change the name of the recognized amusement park from Apex Sports and Events to Iron Peak Sports and Events. In accordance with the LGCCC requirements, this ordinance changes the name of the establishment per their recent name change. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2020-28?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Is there any discussion from the dais? Any discussion from the floor? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance 2020-28?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaPantani.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes. Moving on to 2020-29, an ordinance amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 4, Design and Performance Standards, Section 188-66, Non-Conforming Uses, Structures of Lots of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. The proposed ordinance would amend the standards for determining partial destruction of non-conforming use or structure. The planning board has no objections to this ordinance as presented and finds the proposed amendment to be in conformance with the municipal land use law. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2020-29? Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, is there any discussion from the dais?
I'll just say that this basically brings our ordinance more into what is now the municipal land use requirements. So this is really just a change to make it more compliant.
Thank you. Any other comments from the dais? Nope. Any comments from the floor? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on adopt ordinance 2020-29?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor LaPantani.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes, we have no new ordinances to introduce, which is why I particularly love this time of year. We're going to move on to resolutions. Is there anyone on the dais who wishes to take any of them separately? I believe our administrator has a
Mayor, I'd
comment.
like to take number 7 at the appropriate time.
You want to vote on that separately? No.
No, I'd just like to make a comment.
Okay,
Thank you.
Oh, I have-
Yes. So I was going to say, I don't think you have the authority to ask us to take one separately, but I appreciate you
thank
giving it
you.
the shot
Thank
there. So why don't we do this? May I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So move, Mayor.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Second. All right, thank you. Any comments from the dais, including from our administrator? Now you don't want to say anything?
No, wait, do you want to say yours first?
Yeah, I was gonna wait for you to.
Oh,
make your
I'm
comments,
sorry.
Mayor, and I'll add mine.
All right, there's a couple on there.
Well, I think that's the mayor's prerogative. He called on you to go
I
first.
know, he stepped in before. I was like, all right. First, congratulations to John Sheridan, who's on here with our Office of Emergency Management for another 3-year appointment. John is a vital member of our team, and particularly during the COVID-19, our OEM office has been a calming voice throughout everything. I mean, whether it's been a hurricane, the fire over at the GSA, whether it was, or the depot, I should say, or COVID-19, John has just done an amazing job for the township. So he has certainly earned another 3 years as our OEM coordinator. And that, I have one other comment on another one, number 10, which is opposing Comcast's 1.2 terabytes monthly data cap and price increase for cable, which not for cable, for internet, which will be sent to our legislators and the Board of Public Utilities. This rate increase, but also the data capping is extremely concerning, especially during a pandemic where, I could just think of my family. We have 5 individuals who are working from home right now via school and employment, and you blow through 1.2 terabytes pretty quickly. And although they'll tell you that that's the top 5% of users, there's an awful lot of families here in Hillsborough that have 5 individuals living under their house. And I know they can stream that number pretty quickly. And it's not just Netflix now. I mean, my children are on Zoom or Google Meets from 8:30 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm on those same Zoom calls, and my wife, who's a teacher, is doing the same thing for her virtual learning. So I find it quite unconscionable that Comcast is trying to slide this through in the middle of a pandemic. And again, as much as they say they're going to change some of their pricing tiers, I just find that very disheartening that they would do that at this time. And hopefully our BPU will, although they can't regulate internet as much as they can cable, I hope they certainly talk to Comcast and urge them to rethink that policy decision. So those are the ones I wanted to talk about. Does anyone else on the dais have anything else they'd like to talk about?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. So I just want to echo your comments in all seriousness that we are very lucky to have John Sheridan as our OEM director, not only through this pandemic, but through the multiple emergencies we've had. towns are now scrambling that don't have an OEM director. John works not only with all departments to make sure that we have a plan, but also partners with the county and other surrounding towns through a lot of our emergency drills, and also through the schools and many businesses. So the committee here has really had that foresight to make sure that John was full-time many years ago. And again, through all, as I always say, the preparedness, not panic, is why we're able to open up and offer the services that we do, not only to, like I said, the schools and the business community, but the residents and the employees. So it's an extremely important position. And as Hillsborough is always ahead of the game, we once again are ahead of the game in preparing. So it's an important position. And John's really on call 24/7 as he's woken up many of us on the days here early for a fire or some emergency. And he's to be commended for the job that he does do day in and day out.
And I think he was our official forehead scanner for a while too. He was here before every other employee nonstop. So, and a volunteer firefighter in town. I mean, the list goes on of what John gives back to Hillsborough. So, any other comments from the dais?
Just echo, John. Yeah, we're fortunate.
Yeah,
Very fortunate.
and he's always pleasant and fun. And, it's just nice to have him around with a big smile. He does a good job, and he's always has a handshake, or not anymore a handshake, but he definitely has an elbow bump for his fellow guys. So.
Okay. Any comments from the floor? Feel free to raise your hand. Seeing none, can we move on to roll call, please?
Committeeman Delacorte.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lapani. Mayor
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2020-20?
Make that motion, Mayor.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Seeing none, comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Delacorte.
Yes.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lapani.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes. Okay, well, next up on our list, the next item on the agenda is a personnel discussion. Ms. Linda Ostrowski, as required by law, received and responded to a Rice notice and has chosen to have this matter discussed during the open public meeting session. I will ask our labor attorney to provide background information.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, committeemen, committee and committee women. Linda Ostrowski works in your tax department. The background and the summary is pretty straightforward. Over the course of the last 27 months, she's worked approximately 30% of the time, meaning that she's been out about 70% of the time. That has caused an undue burden on your tax department and in town hall. And during that time, that 27-month period, whenever she requested accommodations in connection with her position, those accommodations were provided. In addition, over the course of the last 3 years, including this year, she has been out of work between Thanksgiving and New Year's. And this particular year, the 2021 year, that just occurred. What's unfortunate about this is that on or about October 25th, 2020, Ms. Ostrowski was cleared to return to work full-time without any restrictions by an orthopedist, and she was given a regimen of physical therapy to attend over the course of a month. Unfortunately, she was only at work for a day and a half, at which time she left work complaining of back pain unrelated to her job. About 2 weeks after that, November 8th, she was sent for what's called a functional capacity evaluation, where doctors evaluate her ability to perform either her job or certain types of jobs. And that functional capacity evaluation resulted in a determination that she could, in fact, do her job without any restrictions. And here's where really the problem is. An essential function of your job is to come to work and be here and attend and do your job. So if you come to work every day and you do your job, if you're out for some period of time for some legitimate reason, getting an accommodation is really not a problem, and the township has done that. Unfortunately, the, let's call it, inability for her to attend to her job, come to work, and be here on a regular basis has really caused you a hardship. So that the recommendation that we're making to the committee and the mayor is that her employment be terminated for excessive absenteeism. And I'm happy to take questions about it from anybody who has any.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Flom. I think the appropriate thing to do now is to give Ms. Ostrowski an opportunity to share any information that she believes is pertinent. So, Mr. Ostrowski, if you could come up to the microphone.
Under the circumstances and stuff, I'd like my husband to discuss, we have a speech and he'd like to read it.
Let me just, that's fine, right?
Sure.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Just into the microphone, please.
And just state your name and then read into the
My
microphone
name
for
is
us.
Thomas Ostrowski, and I'm Linda's husband. During this entire ordeal, nobody has taken the time to actually listen to Linda. Not the township, certainly not workers' compensation, or the doctors. I just wanted finally someone to listen to Linda's side of the story. And here's a brief summary of the events as they happen. The initial injury occurred on November 1st, 1918. While performing an inspection on a resident's home, Linda slipped on a deck while taking measurements. She did not fall, but as a precaution, we went and had x-rays taken that showed that her foot was indeed broken. Workers' comp was started and Linda had surgery on her foot to insert a screw to hold the bone together.
Can they hear him? Does he need to get closer to the mic?
Linda was under the care of workers' comp until 1/23 of 19, when it was discovered that there were critical nerve injuries in Linda's neck which required immediate attention. This could not be postponed. Linda then went out on disability to have neck fusion surgery. Workers' comp was stopped and the case was closed on the foot. Linda had a fit for duty test on 1/25/19, which stated fit for duty, no restrictions. Linda continued to be out on disability for her neck until 5/6/19, when she returned to work. During this time, Linda was still having much pain in her foot. But since workers' compensation had closed the case and wouldn't even discuss the foot anymore, there was no choice but to have a CT scan by one of our own personal doctors. This CT scan clearly showed that the foot was still broken and has never healed. This has been confirmed by several doctors, including the workers' comp doctor. But since the case was closed, workers' comp will not even talk or consider anything in regards to this foot. This foot is still broken as of today. Despite having a broken foot, Linda passed the fit test on 1/25/19 with no restrictions. She returned to work on 5/16. Because Linda was walking around with a broken foot, she was obviously favoring her other foot. On 10/29/19, while inspecting a house and coming down the stairs, Linda slipped and fell again, this time injuring the other foot. There seemed to be ligament damage in the second foot. Workers' comp was started, and of course, the treatment was 8 weeks of physical therapy and wearing a boot. This was completed, and Linda had another fit for duty test on 2/18/20. And again, the fit test was passed, stating full duty with little or no restrictions. Linda returned to work on 3/15/20, and she was still experiencing great pain with the second foot. This was the time COVID hit. The offices were closed for several weeks, and then Linda was set up with remote access. She worked remotely on a full-time basis for approximately 3 months. During this time, we managed to get another MRI on the second foot, which was not ordered by workers' comp. This showed serious ligament damage as well as cartilage damage in the ankle. Workers' comp didn't want to hear it, but finally, after a second opinion on 5/15.
Oh, no, he had a heart attack.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
What?
EMT,
My thing just went off.
Shit.
what is that?
I think he can't be the hospital. I got it.
He's got-
Okay.
Oh!
Okay. All right.
Okay, somebody call 911.
We got the police officer.
Oh,
Officers are there.
Oh, my God.
All right, Can I make a motion for a 5-minute recess?
Yeah.
Can I take a motion for a recess?
So moved. Second.
No, please.
Okay.
All right, we're in recess.
Okay. You want to focus in on, you want to mute yours?
Okay, thank you, everyone, and I'm sorry that we had to take a brief pause there. We do hope Mr. Ostrowski is okay. At this time, I know their testimony was submitted to our council, and he does have a copy. I believe the original was returned to them, so they have the original version of their comments they were making this evening. I think at this time, the appropriate action would be to re-rice notice Ms. Ostrowski for the next meeting, which is December 22nd at 7:30 PM, at which time she'll have a decision if she would like this to be discussed in executive session or in the public, as we were doing here tonight. It is her prerogative, as she had chosen to be public at this one, and if she would like to be done at the next one, she is allowed that. Am I missing anything, Mr. Flom?
I don't think you are, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, then I believe the only appropriate action at this time is to have an motion to adjourn. Do we have to make the motion to carry it? Or-
No, we will, we'll put it on the next agenda, and we'll send out a rice notice to her regarding this. And we do have the statements now that you all can take a look at that and read that in preparation for the next meeting.
Okay, so the appropriate action is to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second. Thank you all. We all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Have a good